Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another sit down vlog. Today's video is a little bit different because I'm pretty much just explaining what happened in the last month that I was not really able to fly. And I've also been MIA on my YouTube and my social media account because of a certain thing that happened on board. So just want to get on here and explain everything that happened. So the most important thing is I'm back on track. I'm actually here in Calgary. I just finished my annual training 2024 and I'm back to being a flight attendant for another year. And I'm happy that I am able to fly again. I flew from Vancouver to Calgary yesterday for our training, and that was my first flight back since August 29th, I believe. So I was off for pretty much a whole month. And long story short, I got injured at work, but it was more of an ear problem that I had on one of my pairings. And I just want to quickly talk about that and, you know, maybe put some light into everything that has happened to me in the last month. So pretty much August 28th, I had picked up a pairing. This was a red eye to Detroit. And coming down to Detroit, we had a medical on board at around top of descent, and I was one of the first responders, and I couldn't really focus on what was happening in my ear, and I didn't know that my ear was starting to clog up. Long story short, we landed into Detroit. My ears won't pop. Sometimes that is normal and it's okay. It has happened to me before where my ears wouldn't pop right at landing. However, as we arrived at the hotel, it was still not quite there yet and it was still not popping. And I remember having my room assigned on the 19th floor, and as soon as we ascended up the elevator, I wasn't really feeling that great and I could feel that my ear was kind of getting worse. So I went to my room. I thought sleeping it off would be okay, as again this was a red-eye flight and I needed to sleep. So I did that, and the moment I woke up at around 2 o'clock, my right ear was just super muffled and I was in so much pain. My high cheekbone and temple on this side where the affected ear was, which is on my right ear, was really painful, and I couldn't focus, and I knew that I would not be able to fly in that condition. Luckily, that pairing that I had picked up, I was only to deadhead back to my base in Vancouver. So whether or not I was going to stay in Detroit wouldn't really matter that particular flight coming back home, because it would not be canceled regardless. So that was reassuring. I know I had to take care of myself, but also it just doesn't feel that great if I was the reason for canceling a flight. I had to call our company doctor of some sort, or medical personnel that is under the company, and they had assessed my condition at that time and figured that I would have to be grounded for the time being until I had cleared my ear. They suggested that I buy decongestant sprays. I take ibuprofen along with like Tylenol, and also inhale some of the steam if I were to take a shower. I did all of that, by the way, and I also made sure that I was ground level, so I stayed outdoors for the rest of the afternoon and tried to really balance and have my right ear pop. It was a little bit helpful when I had the decongestant spray administered, but I could tell that there was still something in there. Long story short, they would ground me until I make progress. Towards the end of the night, I'd called medical people and told them that my ear had popped, which it did. I felt so much better with everything that they had suggested I do. So they put me back on the deadheading flight the following day at around 9 o'clock, I believe, in the morning. I made it back to Vancouver, and during the flight, by the way, I was kind of worried that I would feel pain, especially on descent. However, I made it back to Vancouver and the flight was okay. But this was just the start of my 1-month nightmare, because although I felt okay during the flight, the muffling started coming back. I felt that my right ear wasn't really performing to its normal state, if you know what I mean. I slept it off. The following day, it started getting muffled again. So I went to see the urgent care and they checked my ear and they found that it's clogged. Thank God I did not rupture my eardrum, so that was a good thing. Otherwise, this would have turned into a more disastrous event, if anything. So that was a good thing. However, the doctor said that I was accumulating liquid right behind the eardrum in the middle ear or inner ear. So it's called an ear effusion, which is pretty normal, especially for people who work in the industry, that be FAs or pilots. It usually happens when you get a cold or if you're sick or if there's changes in pressure. I wasn't sick during the pairing, so I'm not sure why it happened, but I knew that my ear didn't have time to equalize or release the negative pressure, whatever it is. I ended up having the ear effusion. The only problem with ear effusion is I would have to wait weeks for it to heal. Heal meaning the liquids will just drain right behind through the throat, and that takes some time. So they took a lot of my pairings, one after the other, and I just stayed home and tried to heal. You know, it sucks because I felt so hopeless that I couldn't even help myself, because the only way of healing is through time. As a flight attendant or someone who works in flight, you know how important it is to take care of the ears, as we deal with a lot of altitude changes. The ear is something that you have to have in perfect condition for us to keep working the type of job that we have. And it sucks because I felt perfectly okay, perfectly healthy, but because I have the ear effusion, I could not come to work, and I lost 3 of my pairings that I had specifically bid for, which sucks. But again, at the end of the day, my safety is most important and my priority. So I took the time off and, you know, took that time to also rest up and recuperate, as I don't normally really get that much time off other than taking a vacation. But on a daily basis, you guys know that I work a lot, and it was quite refreshing to just be at home. But at the same time, my body was also looking for the adrenaline of being able to go to work and, you know, just being super busy at work. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't really posting that much, and I was also late at posting some of the vlogs. I really didn't have much videos to record, as I was literally at home, and I was just, you know, I also took that time to do my e-learnings to prep myself for the annual that I really was hoping that I would still make it to, because if I wasn't really well before my annual or leading up until the annual, then I'd be kind of screwed, because I don't know what's gonna happen. But long story short, I think it took me around 2 weeks more or less before I started feeling better. Like my ear was starting to not being muffled. Really just time was all I needed. I was going back and forth with my doctor just to see how it is going, and finally, I think it was September, maybe just a week ago. Yeah, just a week ago, I saw my family doctor and I asked if he can say for certain that I am okay to fly, because all of my pairings prior to my annual had already been taken out of my schedule. So this was my only priority as well, to make sure that I make it to my annual training for this year. Thank goodness that my annual was also scheduled towards the end of the month. But also, when I had gone to my family doctor and when he checked my ear, I was so happy that he didn't see anything other than a normal ear, although I can tell that my right ear is more sensitive than my left ear. Yeah, like pretty much that's what happened, and I got released to be back to work. I made it back here, and my flight yesterday, I was slightly worried, I have to be honest, because my doctor said that the ears are really sensitive, so he has to see me actually when I come back from my annual, just to make sure that everything works as per normal. But he also mentioned that although it is normal, the ear is still sensitive. So I was quite worried on the flight yesterday, or how my ear was going to react, especially on descent again. But I just thank God, because I didn't feel pain. My ear wasn't clogged at all. It was just a pretty normal day. I'm taking that as a sign that I'm just heading towards the right direction, and it's just gonna go better from here on. Although I can kind of tell that my right ear is still more sensitive than my left ear, and so I have to really make sure that I'm taking all the precautions and making sure that I am, you know, like really being safe. Having said all of that story, I really just filmed this video because I wanted just to spread some awareness, especially to my fellow flight attendants, or you know, the people I work in flight, that be flight attendants or pilots, that we really have to take care of ourselves, especially our bodies, especially a certain part of our body that needs to be at 100% functioning for us to be able to do our job well. So if you had experienced, or if you will experience something similar, please don't take it lightly. Call in sick if you need to. Do not be a hero by pushing through, because if things go sideways, we could potentially lose our job in the long run if we don't take care of our ears, as an example. And to be honest, as what I mentioned a while ago, our ears are very much connected to our job. So if we don't take care of the things that help us go to work safely, then we'll eventually lose the job that we love so much, right? So this is just a kind of a quick vlog. I really just wanted to touch on quick topic that I kind of just want to talk about, because I do not want to ever experience what I had just experienced, and I also do not want any other FAs to suffer what I had gone through. Although again, this is pretty, you know, we're pretty prone to this type of illness, but we just gotta, you know, take care of ourselves. If we really can't do it, call in sick, you know, do not be a hero. We have reserved flight attendants to cover the pairings, and just really stop and think about taking care of yourselves first so that we can take care of others. So yeah, this is pretty much what I just really wanted to tell everyone, as I miss vlogging as well, and just, I don't know, man, like I miss my job so much. So now that I'm back, I will try my best to be back on track and try to vlog as much as I can and take you guys along with me on my FA adventures or my vacation adventures or whatever it is. But just take care, always take care. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I know I've just pretty much talked about what happened to me and why I was MIA for the last month or so. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my vlog. If you reached this part, I appreciate that so much, and I hope you were able to take something out of this in a good way and learn something from my experience, and hopefully it doesn't really happen to you. So thank you so much for watching again. If you did like this video, or if you found it helpful, please do like it, and as usual, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the notification as well, so you'll get an update as soon as I have uploaded a video. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, bye for now.